I'm Ali, and I'm the second affirmative, and I'm going to be talking about the flat tax. And basically, what Valentina went over, my assistant's claims that he did not express the values of why we should move to a flat tax. I think we have a lot of reasons to move to a flat tax, mainly due to the fact that let's see where our economy is at right now. I mean, is our current policy working? I think we need a change, and we need a change right now. And let me just say, let's do the arithmetic here. Valentina said that it takes about how many, like, few minutes to actually do the IRS forms. But from the IRS, I found off the internet that it estimates that the average total time to complete and file a form of 1040A is 6 hours 33 minutes. And the time expands appreciably when it is necessary to attach any other following documents like the IRA or your EIC, which is the Earned Income Credit, and IRA is basically individual retirement account, your pension income, or social security benefits. And the time for Form 1040Z is 1 hour 52 minutes. And few people treat filing taxes as a leisure activity. Most of us would rather go out or party or stuff like that. But I would say there's a inherency right there that the IRA actually says it takes a long time to do it, and the flat tax would actually cut down on all this stuff. The flat tax is basically you're filling out a postcard and sending it back to the government. The IRS is totally cut down. You don't have a middleman standing in between you and the government of sending your taxes to them. The IRS is totally cut down, so you can remove this block and have you and the government on direct contact with your taxes. And the second point, which Valentina brought up, is that it's unfair about the flat tax, or basically is the same thing. But I think it's not unfair that the flat tax helps the rich and taxes the poor. It's a progressive tax that me and my associate are talking about. It's a 17% tax compared to the 40% tax that we have right now. And an NBC News Wall Street Journal poll conducted during July 23rd, 1994 asked the following question: do you think that the current income system is basically fair or basically unfair? 59% replied basically unfair. Only 38% said it was basically fair. 2/3 of those who said it was unfair thought it could only be made fair with a complete overhaul, not with some minor adjustments. And that is what I'm talking about. This pattern of response was roughly similar between men and women, whites and blacks, all main occupation groups, Democrats and Republicans, Bush and Clinton voters, you name it. Most of them were agreeing with the fact that our current economic system is not working. And the third point that Valentina brought up was that the flat tax would not help the economy, and it would actually deplete charities. I actually found out that implementing the flat tax will actually lead to rapid economic growth. A flat tax would spur increased work, saving, and investment by increasing incentives to engage in productive economic behavior. It also boosts the economy's long-term growth rate, because this is a progressive tax. I repeat, it's a progressive tax. It's not going to go in once. It's going to gradually decrease to 17%. And even if a flat tax boosted long-term growth by only 0.5%, the income of the average family of 4 after 10 years would be as much as $5,000 higher than it would be under the current tax laws. What more else could an average family want? And the point about the charities basically shows that history suggests that these fears are misplaced. During the 1980s, the top tax rate was reduced dramatically from 70% in 1980 to 28% in 1988. And this also reduced the value of itemized deductions, but people still kept giving charities, and that did not change in any way. And the talk about the brackets of how there's 5 brackets and 2 brackets and how our economies are basically the same, it's a totally different thing. Our economy right now and the flat tax are 2 very different things. And according to the magazine called The Economist, fewer brackets are simpler to administer compared to the 5 brackets which Valentina was talking about. But 1 bracket is simplest of all. Under a pure flat tax, the taxman takes the same cut from the last dollar you earned that he took from the first. The appeal to high earners is obvious, but the administrative elegance of such a system is not so immediately apparent, because every dollar is taxed at the same rate. It does not matter to the tax collector how many dollars are going down, and thus in principle, the taxman could simply withhold 20% of a company's payroll, without needing to know who was paid what. Add a second rate of tax, however, or on a personal exemption, and the tax collector must find out how much money is going into each pay packet before he can be sure of collecting the right amount from the right person. In America, for example, the tax collector needs to tax the wage packets of 130 million or more employees rather than simply taxing the payrolls of 8 million or so enterprises. And basically the fact that I've covered most of the topics that we came about right now, but I want to show that the flat tax has actually been working in various other countries, and there's no reason why we shouldn't implement it here and try it out, because Estonia and Russia are actually working with the flat tax, and they're having a great success with it in their GOP rates and their economy. And that'll be it.